Daryline James is an anti-drug activist in the area, also the founder of Yellow Ribbon Foundation. Daryline, thank you for your time as always. I'm speaking to David Tembe. In fairness to him, he's, as the MMC for Public Safety in the city of Johannesburg, really responsible with oversight over the Metro Police. He says, look, we're going to put up a few more roadblocks for the next 2 months. You know, we'll search, we'll look at cars and so on. That's what we can do, working hand in hand with the SAPs. That's a start, he says. Does that satisfy you?
Good morning, and thank you so much for having me. I'm laughing this morning because our problems go back almost a decade since the presidential intervention. And what you see happening in Eldorado Park is basically government's inability to actually service and protect this community. And hence we are camping out at the police station. It's okay for now, if I can put it that way, because it's a part contribution to the problem. But it is not just the MMC that we want out here and some commitment from him. Right now we are basically begging, hence the sleepover. I got home this morning at 3 o'clock just to get some rest because it's the second night that we're sleeping there. And we are saying that we want all government departments because our problems are so deep. You know, we have issues of the high unemployment rate here. There's no opportunities. There's no development. It's almost as if a wall was built around this community and, you know, they have said, let them rot. That's where we're at. And this is why we are, if I tell you, every day we're burying someone. 10 o'clock, 9 o'clock, the kids are running at school. You hear gunshots going off. We've become the Cape Flats. The very thing we've tried to avoid a decade ago, we are that now.
I mentioned a little earlier on that it seems to me that, you know, we as outsiders typically wait for something big to happen at Eldorado Park, and we put a spotlight on it and we try and highlight what's going on there. And then after a month or two, we move on, we move away, and you as a community are left to deal with ongoing problems that, to me at least, don't seem to have a plan.
Definitely not, and this is what I'm saying. You know, in the beginning when we didn't know any better as community leaders, you know, we would be clapping hands and all happy when there's an intervention for 3 months. But then after 6 months, it's quiet and we're back to square one. You know, everyone pulls out. And right now we have government officials of the opinion, you know, when they hear elders, it's elders again. And I'm saying we are not drugs and alcohol and gangs. We are not that. This community reflects what is happening in the entire South Africa. Government's inability to serve this country. This is why we're at.
Daryline,
and we are calling on everyone.
Daryline, what would you like to see happen?
I'd like to see an integrated approach happening, and sustainable integrated approach, not just departments showing up, ticking boxes and leaving. We want to see everyone here today. We're going to be camping out with the hope that we're waiting for the minister to come, Minister of Justice. There's a huge problem there. We need buy-in and commitment. We need the Minister of Social Development to come and pledge her support. We need the Minister of Education. We need everyone here, and everyone has a role to play when it comes to let's fix Eldorado Park.
There are many people listening to us who are also in areas that are stressed, in areas that they may feel are also neglected. They might ask the question, why Elders and not wherever they are from?
No, absolutely. What we're saying needs to happen in Elders and what's probably happening in Elders, I don't live in any other area. So I'm not really, clued up exactly what is happening there. But the other day when I go onto Twitter, people are saying, you know what, everyone, all communities should be camping out at the police station and taking charge of their communities. Today we've been threatened at our tents. We literally look like a refugee camp at SAPS. And we're being at the police station. And people are saying, the generals are saying by today they want our tents off. If we're going to have our tents, this is the most peaceful protest ever. We're just taking out. And we're waiting. So what do they want us to take to the streets and start burning?
You're also calling for the removal of the station commander there.
Yes, and you know what? The problem starts for me. It starts at the top. So we've highlighted this problem months back, saying that, you know what, when we want to have and work hand in hand with the station commander as a community, come up with ways, we have to start with station management. It's a closed door policy. You have to leave your name and number, and he gets back to you maybe tomorrow, and that has been the attitude. It's a news station, Commander, where you have the situation where even at the front desk, there's no airtime loaded on state phones. They load 100 Rand for Lord knows how long, and the other phone has a code. So members aren't even able to call additional members if something happens in Eldorado Park. I'm not sure what is happening at that station.
The National Police Commissioner, whom we've tried to interview, to invite to come onto the show and answer to these very issues, he has not yet availed himself, but he was there on Monday. He made some promises. Is that encouraging?
You know what? We said, you know what? We keep settling for the crumbs. The National Commissioner was here, yes, because we also called on him. And when I spoke to him telephonically the morning, I said to him, Commissioner, you cannot come here on your own. You cannot be making 200 arrests like we've seen in the past, and we clap hands, and 2 days later, they all out because you know what? Your detectives are ineffective. The profiling isn't done. Cases aren't being linked. We don't have forensics on board. We don't have a designated prosecutor that's actually been, briefed about the situation in Eldorado Park. So people are getting bail because the bigger picture hasn't been explained to them. They don't know that even if you're indoors right now, you're ducking bullets, that someone was shot a month ago while watching television in their homes. So are we supposed to be okay with that?
Darylene James, appreciate your time.
Current events, developing stories,
tough questions.
Your voice making a difference.
This is Breakfast with Bongani Bingwa.